without the aham. I thought is first, I. Then all the things will come. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go here, go there, etc., etc. The first thought is always aham. If you watch, the first thought never is whatever, if whatever is whatever that I do, hear, taste is dependent on the I. I do, I hear, I see, I this, I that, I that. So that I, that aham, is what is yoga in this. And this entire world is dependent on that aham. Okay. Now, therefore, in deep sleep, the world doesn't exist. For me, the world doesn't exist in deep sleep when I go to deep sleep. So when aham is folded, the small aham, pure consciousness always remains. So that's why he says that, yes, you do see it, but in actuality, it is not there. In actuality, is not there. Like I gave you the example of the wave, ocean, and water. From the standpoint, if the wave is looking at the wave, there is competition. Wave looking at ocean is a different type of relationship. It's a relationship of wonder. It's a relationship of respect. It cannot be a relationship of jealousy. Now, ocean looking at the wave is again a different type of a relationship, because ocean says it's my child. It's a part of me. The wave is a part of me. But if you go to the level of the water, water is saying, where is their ocean? Where is their wave? There is only water. There is only me everywhere. So that standpoint, if we can reach that standpoint, that is realization, that there is really nothing other than me. And that's why this is what Bhagavan is saying here, bhutosto mamatma bhuta bhavana. Like I am the efficient and material cause of this world, but in actuality, there is no world. Water is the cause of the ocean. Water also is the cause of the wave. And we see this manifesting waves and we say this is the ocean and these are the waves. But if you go to this level of the water is because of, if the water was not there only, would there be a wave and ocean? No. So water is the cause. But is this really existing? Is the wave existing? Is it a wave or is it only water? That is where that higher intellect, that higher source of knowledge has to come in. That can I take the wave in my palm of my hand and bring it home? When if I take wave in a bucket or in a whatever container, what am I bringing home? Water. Water alone. So there is water alone. That is what he's saying here. Look at my yoga. So look at the water, but look at the waves also. That is my Aishwarya. The waves and the ocean, this multiplicity of names and forms that you see is my vibhuti. I have created it. Means it is created means not that he's a doer. It's because of me that you see it, but in actuality, they're not there. There's nothing. There's nothing other than me. Like water is saying, there's really nothing other than me. You look at the wave, you look at the bubble, you look at the foam, you look at the ocean. It is nothing but me, water. These two are very important verses. And then an example is given of this Vayuhu, space. Not Vayu, Nitya Akasha Stitho. So Akasha, space is all pervading. Space accommodates everything. Space is the one that is because of which air can exist, fire can exist, water can exist. So all these other elements, earth can exist. So all the four elements can exist because there is space. But is the space getting affected by any of these? If there is a bonfire, if there's a campfire, is space getting burnt? If there is water flooding, space is getting wet. Space is not getting wet. This is an example for us to understand. So not that pure consciousness is space or space is pure consciousness. Just like even space cannot be affected by anything, pure consciousness is even subtler than space. But understand me to be like that. Understand me to be like space. Just as space doesn't get affected in whatever is happening in that space. There could be murder, there could be satsang, blood, maybe I might spit. You know, when people spit, space is not getting anything. The space is not. The place where I spit is becoming dirty or whatever, but no, space is not. So I am like that. That is what he's saying. I am like that space. Everything is happening because of my presence, but I am not getting affected by it. Another example is movie. We go to a movie and we see there might be, gardens and flowers, and there might be murder and bloodshed and everything. What is happening to the screen? But it is only because of the screen that I can see the movie. But whatever is happening in the movie can never, ever affect the screen that way. It is because of pure consciousness, Bhagavan is saying, it's because of me that you can see this manifested world of names and forms. But whatever is happening in this manifested world is not affecting me, number one. And the reason it is not affecting me, because as far as I am concerned, it is not even there. How can it affect me? It's not even there. It's not there. So that is Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. Understand it like that. And who are we? Who am I? I am that substratum and not these things that are happening in this world. Okay? Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya, things and beings. Prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshay punastani kalpado visra. So all these beings, they come forth, they come forth at the beginning of creation, and then they go back into me. Understand here this to be rebirth. So this is negating the Charvak theory school of philosophy, which says that there was nothing before birth and there will be nothing after death. Body is the thing. Whatever we see is true. If we don't see it, it's not true. So we see the body. Body is only Atma. Body is everything. So that's why body is born and body dies and finished. Then that's it. End of story. It is not like that, because we cannot explain law of karma, etc. with that theory. And this is where Bhagwan is saying that no, they come to me and then they same jivas are coming back. So which means there is a recycling. There is this thing. Prakrutim swama vashtabhya visrijami puna puna. Again and again, this cycle is going on. And then Krishna, they are these multitude by the force of their helpless beings are coming out. And I told you why helpless? Because we are helpless because of all the karmas that we have done. So we have no choice but to take birth as per those karmas. Those karmas that we have done in past lives, they are dictating our birth, our experiences, our lifespan, everything they are dictating. So that's why helpless. I cannot help my birth. But one point here is, if everything that I'm experiencing in this life is because of my past karmas, then if I improve my present karmas, my future might be improved. So that is why take care of the present. Past you have done, we have no control over it. So you have to accept whatever now comes to you. Whatever, it may be good happiness, it may be sorrow. Whatever is coming to you, you're helpless, because already that has been preordained, predetermined by the karmas that I have done. I only have done, nobody else to blame. I only have done those. That's why this is coming. Okay, fine. If everything is depending on my karma, then at least let me improve my karmas now. Let me improve my thoughts now so that I can create a better future for myself. All right. So this is, he says, Prakrute Vasha, they are under the control of Prakriti. When Bhagwan takes avatar, it is not a helpless birth. It is not by force. It is by his orders, with Maya under his control. He appears in human form on this birth. And that is the difference between his avatar and our birth. That's why ours is not called avatar. Ours is birth. His is avatar. That's the difference. And he says, when I take form, when I take that form, no karmas bind me. No karmas bind me. Because I am Udasina, I am above likes and dislikes. I am above everything. I do not have doership and enjoyership. Take away for us. If he doesn't get bound by the karmas that he does, and because why? Because he doesn't have this doership and enjoyership, then if I give up doership and enjoyership, then perhaps I might not get bound by those karmas that I'm doing right now. Principle of karma yoga. So this is what he says, Teshu karma yoga, okay? And then okay, so we had we had completed up to 9. So today we'll start with 10. मय्याध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते. Under me as supervisor, Prakriti, nature, produces the moving and the unmoving. Because of this, O Kaunteya, the world revolves. Under me as supervisor, I told you, Sant Naneshwar's language, he is the husband, wife is the one doing all the work, but the wife will not do anything until he permits. So under my, means under my control. Prakriti is under my control. It's talking from the level of Ishvara here, not pure consciousness. Ishvara has Prakriti, Maya under his control. That Maya has got three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which are modifiable. And therefore, with the modifications of those three gunas, Prakriti creates. Okay, this is, and because Prakriti is creating and because Prakriti is the cause has Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, whatever that is created has Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and those gunas are what are keeping Jagat Viparivartate. This modifications in us, in our mood, we have mood swings. Body becomes, very, sometimes it is very Rajasic, sometimes very Sattvic, sometimes very Tamasic. So all these changes, modifications that are happening are because of Prakriti, not because of me, but Prakriti cannot do all this without my supervision or without my permission, without my this. So we had, in the beginning, I told you in this chapter, he'll explain how creation is happening. That's what he's saying. So number one thing is that all the jivas are coming back and again and again and again. Same jivas are coming back in different bodies. Okay. And who is doing all this? Who is creating? Prakriti is creating. Under whose supervision? My supervision. And when I take birth, I don't get bound by any karmas. Why? Because I don't have doership and enjoyership. But jivas have, and therefore they are binding them. Okay. So another, under my supervision, also another connotation is Prakriti is not independent. She cannot just go herself somewhere and do. Some schools of philosophy, Sankhya school of philosophy says Prakriti has all the powers. Prakriti independently creates. That is their school. That is their philosophy. And Prakriti independently creates. And why does she create? For the pleasure of Purusha. That is how they explain it. Purusha is the pure consciousness, they say, Atma. And for the pleasure of Atma. But Vedanta says, no, no, no. Prakriti has no independent volition. She has no choice. She creates under my supervision and not for my pleasure. She's not creating for my pleasure. Why is she creating? To fulfill the vasanas of all the jivas that have come back to me. During Pralaya, all the jivas that have gone back, their vasanas are fructifying. Those have to be fulfilled. And so for that reason, she is creating under my supervision, not for my pleasure, not because I want her to create something and I want to enjoy that. That is a difference. That is a difference. Okay. So all these schools of philosophies are being negated here. So that is what he says. Then now what happens is all the creation has happened. Okay. But I told you this chapter also deals with people who have faith in the Lord and who don't have faith in the Lord. What happens to those who don't have faith? This is the verse for that one, who don't have faith. Avajananti mam mudhaha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools, mudhaha, fools, disregard me when I dwell in human form. My higher being, as the great Lord of beings, they know it not. Okay. So fools, mudha, this fool word should be understood. It is not one who is illiterate, who is uneducated, who doesn't have a polished demeanor. No, no, that is not what a fool is. A fool is one who does not recognize the presence of the Lord. As per Vedantic, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's definition, fool is not one who is, a judge could be a fool as per Vedanta. A very rich person could be a fool. He may be highly educated. He might be whatever, but if he, avajananti, disregard, disrespect. Now, disregard, see, if somebody comes to my house, and then I keep on watching TV only, or I'm playing on my iPad and then I keep on playing. So I disregard that person. So when I disregard that person, I'm also disrespecting him, right? Means I'm ignoring him now. This person, actually, yesterday only we were see one person from our other class. Years ago, he had told me, this story came to me, and then yesterday I reconfirmed it with him. I said, he and his wife went to India from here. Then they went to visit somebody for 1 hour. He said, everybody in the house, we were just sitting there and they were on the phone. And that time when he told me, years ago, he told me this, he said, you won't believe. I said, you're joking. You're joking me. You're kidding me. He said, no, I'm telling you. For 1 full hour, nobody looked at us. So yesterday he was in class and I said, you told me this, right? Because I said, tomorrow I'm going to tell in class because that's the verse that is coming up. He said, yes, I did tell you that. That's why disregard becomes disrespect. So when you're not even acknowledging the presence of that person, so that is a fool who does not acknowledge the presence of the Lord anywhere, outside also, inside, nothing. It's me, I did all this and I got it. What has God got to do with it? Or there is no God. That is what a fool is. So Manushim Tanumashritam. So when I come, even in Krishna's time, there was Duryodhan, Shishupal, they never thought he was God. Even Dhritarashtra, there is an episode in Mahabharata when Bhagwan Krishna went at the very end to ask for only 5 villages. He went to Dhritarashtra. He said, I'll tell you what, if you give 5 villages to the 5 brothers, this war will not happen. They will listen to me. This war will not happen. And Duryodhan, being, what Duryodhan was, he's saying, arrest him, he said. He ordered his, because it was his palace, said, arrest him. And Dhritarashtra said, son, please use silk ropes because I've heard that Krishna's body is very soft. So that means he thought he was a human being. And what Bhagwan did was, there were, he's Maya Pati. That's why Bhagwan is called Maya Pati. He's the husband of Maya, means he is controlling. There were thousands of Krishnas standing in that palace. Who to arrest? Who to catch? Who to arrest? Right? Shri Ram did that too. 14, the Shurpanaka came and she went to, and Lakshman cut her nose. So she went to her brothers, 2 brothers, Khara and Dushana. They had an army of 14,000 people, 14,000 soldiers. They came to capture Sri Ram. And Sri Ram said to Lakshman, you protect her, protect Sita. I am going to go. And what he did was, every person in that army started looking like Ram. So they were killing their own people. So each one started, because when this one demon looked at other, he saw Sri Ram, so he killed him. So he killed the demon. Therefore, one Sri Ram, Mayapati. That is what it is. So that recognition, even Ravan didn't think he was Lord. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared touch her, right? He didn't think. He thought it was just some tapasvi in some ochre robes. So this is what he's saying. Manushim Tanumashino. When I take birth, they don't recognize me. Param bhavaman jananto mama bhutavaish. Great. They know me not. They think I'm just an ordinary human being, or maybe an illusionist. That's what Krishna was called. He's performing illusions. He's performing magic. Therefore, he can, do all these tricks. Not like he's the Lord. Okay. So those are the fools. This is my higher nature. Now, what is the takeaway for us? How do we not disrespect the Lord or not disregard the Lord? What would be the test? That I'm not disregarding the fact that this Lord is within me. Okay. So the highest definition of the pure consciousness that we have heard is Sat Chit and Ananda. So if I am truly, I have complete faith that Sat Chit Ananda principle is living within me, is within me, then I can never have fear of death. So anyone who has fear of death is actually disregarding the supreme reality. because then they are identifying with the body. They think they are the body. They don't know, then they are a fool. Okay, so number one is, if I know I am the existence principle, which can never, which is what we saw in chapter 2. It is not born and it does not die. If I have full faith in that, why should I have fear death? Why should I fear death? Then second is chit, consciousness. We suffer because of our ignorance. If we have the correct knowledge, what is the correct knowledge? I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am that pure consciousness. Then will I suffer? So when my body gets diseased, will I be unhappy? When my mind gets hurt, will I be unhappy? When my intellect is dishonored, when somebody calls me stupid or whatever, am I getting upset? And at our level, this is the highest standpoint. At our level, yes, we will get upset. But like I've always told you, as a spiritual seeker, how soon are we going to neutralize that upsetness, that disturbance, that agitation, and come back into our original mode? That is what will tell us how much faith we have in this teaching, how much faith we have in Lord, how much faith we have in the fact that we are being told that the Jiva and Brahma is one. We have not realized it, okay? We have not realized it. We are living on this plane, earth, as body, mind, intellect. But whatever that happens to the body, mind, and intellect, okay, we will get disturbed, but please try to that is the takeaway. What is the takeaway of this? See, teaching has got two aspects. One is teaching, one is implementation. So we are being taught. Bhagavan himself is saying, those are fools who disregard me, who don't recognize me, my presence in their own self, in this whole world. They are fools. Okay, I don't want to be a fool. So which means I must recognize that presence. So that thought, the more we get established in that thought, the less disturbed we will be. Therefore, realize, Master, when it happens, I think it'll come in this one only. The greatest of sorrows doesn't shake him. Bhagavan says, Guru napi na vichalyate. Guru there is very big, not teacher. Very, very big sorrow. Whenever the biggest sorrow comes to them, they don't shake. We shake. We shake. Okay, that's fine. That's human. That's human to feel hurt. And we are still humans. We are not superhuman. We are not reached that super conscious state. So try to neutralize it. Try to neutralize that. That is what we need to do. Because that means that we have trust in the knowledge. No, I am not the one that is getting hurt. Yes, my mind is hurt. My ego is hurt. But I am not the mind. I'm not the ego. And work on it so that after a few days, sometimes it might take months, depending on where you are on the spiritual ladder. Sometimes it'll take. And also, let me tell you one thing. If it is some other third person hurting us, we don't care. Who cares? Forget it. But it's when our own people hurt us, our own relatives, our own friends, our children, our parents, or whatever, whoever is, then it hurts more. It hurts more. Okay. And so work through that hurt. Work through it. Work through it based on the knowledge that we are getting. Then we are making use of this knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita. Just this morning in Bhaja Govindam, Bhagwan has given that verse. It says a little bit of Bhagavad Gita who has studied. So this study part is not only just understanding the Gita, but implementing it as well. Therefore, in Vedanta, they say there is nothing in this world that should make you sorrowful. Okay, we are not at that stage. That's why the realized master doesn't get. He doesn't feel. He doesn't feel. He knows. He knows. So, we have seen masters, Ramakrishna Paramahan's cancer, Gurudev heart problems. We have seen this. They were not disturbed. They took treatment. Ramakrishna Paramahan's didn't even take treatment anyway. Gurudev, of course, he had his bypass and all, but not disturbed. Not disturbed by it. Okay. Third one is Ananda. Satchit and Ananda. We are ever miserable only. So that means we are actually we are the source of bliss and we are running after happiness. The cube of sugar is running after the chocolate. So she was asked, why are you running? after that chocolate. Oh, I want sweetness from the chocolate. I want, Arey Baba, you only are the cause of sweetness in the chocolate. Why are you running after the chocolate? That's what we are doing. We are running after this world for happiness. Please, you come be nice to me. This is my expectation. Fulfill. When our expectation doesn't get fulfilled, that's when we are very miserable. Please fulfill my, I expect you to behave in a way. I expect you to do this. I expect you to do this. That is what is disregard. So if we want to regard, if we want to respect the supreme realities present within us, try to reduce the fear of death. Try to stay in the knowledge that I am not this BMI. So whatever is happening to that, even this too shall pass. There is a saying, it will pass. Time is the best healer. I've told a lot of people, there was, yeah, somebody had written to me, the parents, at least a young person died, and parents were, at least open to, because she's, so anyway, she has some Gita knowledge. So but the sister is very, very upset. The sister, young person. So sister was very, very upset. I said, give her time. Give her time. And she was not open to listening to anything at that point because she was so much grieved. But give it time. Time is the best healing. So give ourselves also, we can give time. Not a very unreasonable amount of time. I have known people whose husbands, they were 80 plus, sick, and then the wife is in depression for 2 years. Now that is not allowed. That is not allowed. Okay. We have to think. This person was suffering. He's 80, he's lived his life, seen children, seen grandchildren. Now what more do you want? Right? So that we have to be careful of. Okay? All good? Now, why are these fools not, or why are these fools disrespecting the Lord? मोघाशा मोघकर्मणा मोघज्ञाना विचेतसः राक्षसीम् आसुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः. Of vain hopes, mogha is vain, of vain hopes, of vain actions, of vain knowledge, and senseless, they verily are possessed of the delusive nature of Rakshasas and Asuras. So let's understand Rakshasa and Asura first. Rakshasas, maximum rajas. Okay. Asuras, maximum tamas. So Rakshasas, rajas followed by tamas, last sattva. Asuras, tamas followed by rajas, last sattva. So sattva in these people is at the very bottom because nobody can go to, even Rakshasas and Asuras, no matter how much rajasic and tamasic they are, sattva can never go to zero. Okay, that we have seen that many times. In the three gunas, none of them can go to zero, no matter how that person is or what that person is. So Rakshasi and Asura is Asusu Ramante iti Asuraha. Asusu means pranas, those who revel in the pranas, and pranas here represents the body. So those who are very much identified with the body. That is what Asura means. It doesn't mean Rakshasa, doesn't mean some demon-like, ugly. It could be a very beautiful person, a very, intelligent person also, but thinks that he is the body. So his identification is entirely with the body. Now, Rakshasim, same thing. So identification is there, maximum identification with the body. And so what is the principle of life? I have to take care of my body. My body has to enjoy. I have to enjoy means what? My body has to enjoy. So I will do anything, eat, drink, and be merry. This is a Charvak philosophy. There's nothing before birth. There's nothing after death because body is right now here from this date to this date. And this body has to enjoy no matter what. So there are two bifurcations in Charvaks. One says you even do illegal acts and as long as you can drink ghee, they say even by stealing it. The other one, other philosophy, a little bit better. They say, no, eat ghee, but please earn it by legal means, by, like, yeah, don't do anything wrong, but enjoy. Enjoy. Life is meant for enjoying. There is nothing after death. There is nothing to worry about what actions you're doing, what you're not doing. This is Rakshasim and Asuram. Now, these type of people who think that the body is everything, they have Mogha Asha, hopes. What is the hope? I will have happiness from the world. I have to make myself happy. That is my goal of life. If I'm happy by eating lots of food, yeah, then that is I'll eat. If I'm happy by, enjoying parties, indulging, doing this, doing that, this is, why is this vain? Why it is vain? Why is Bhagwan saying this is vain? Because we know, like I told you, our higher intellect, our higher source of knowledge, look at your own experience. This is the best. So I got happiness by whatever. I bought a car, I bought a plane, I bought a house, I bought a whatever. Now you think how long that happiness has lasted you. You think your own, that's why you have to bring your own experiences. So maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you got something and it made you very, very happy. So because you see, your principle is, if I get this, if I get that, I'll be happy. Now think about all the things that you have acquired because you thought that will make you happy. And yes, at that point, yes, it did make you happy. But after 5 years, after 10 years, is that thing giving you the same kind of happiness? Does it? Then you start looking for something else. And that's why it is vain. Vain because you will keep on going after these external objects and you will not find that happiness that you're looking for. Because you'll be happy, then after some time, you're unhappy. Then you garage sale. Gurudev's famous example was, we would never have garage sales. If the things that I bought for my house made me happy, nobody buys things because, oh, I want sorrow, oh, this will make me sorrow. No, this will make me happy, so I buy. Then what happens after a few years? Gurudev used to say, after third day, garage sale. That's why we see so many garage, because that thing is not giving me that kind of happiness that it gave me when I bought it. That's why I'm selling it now or giving it away, charity or whatever. That's why Bhagwan is saying this is vain. Like, it is not giving you that happiness, permanent happiness that you're looking for. Then what is the point? What is the point of having this type of hope that I will get happiness from the world? So there is no point. Moga karmana. Karma is vain also. Why? Because all the karmas, that these rakshasim, asurim, those whose prakriti here, prakriti means their nature, swabhava. Their swabhava is that, they think they are the body and they want happiness. So all their karmas that I am doing and I will enjoy. So all the karmas are with doership and enjoyership. So they are in vain because all that karma is doing is binding you to the next birth. You may not think that there is no birth after this body dies, it's gone. No, but that is not the truth. That is not the truth. That is why for Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta especially, we have to think by the intellect. We cannot go on, see, senses, yeah, oh, body died, we cremated it, body is gone, finish. That story for this person has ended. But that is not what the scriptures are saying. Scriptures are not saying that it's ended. Death is a comma, it's not a full stop. So that's why when I do karma saying, oh, I'll die, then everything will be finished, it is in vain. That is in vain. Because you've done karma, you've created another birth for yourself. Because you've created those vasanas. That's why this. So if, okay, we'll see the last one and then we'll go back again to these three. Now, moghanyanaha. So their knowledge is, because what is the knowledge that they have? I am the body, eat, drink, and be merry. All I have to do is in this life, nothing is going to happen afterwards. So let me just do whatever, as long as I am enjoying this body, enjoying and my body is happy, I am happy. End of story. That knowledge is also vain. Why? Because that is not correct knowledge. It is not correct knowledge. So is it even knowledge? Knowledge which is not correct, it is vain only, na? It's useless. That's why it is vain. Now for us, Vichetasa. So Chetasa is buddhi. Chetas is mind, intellect. Vichetasa means, here it means Vivek Shunya, means they don't have the discrimination that I am not the body, I'm something else. They don't have the discrimination that these karmas that I am doing for me to enjoy are going to bind me and put me into another cycle of birth and death, because this knowledge that I have is also vain. It's vain. They don't know that, but that's the knowledge that they have, that there's nothing after death. There's no more rebirth. Finish. Story ends. That's why all this is becoming vain. So no matter what they do, this hope that I will get happiness, karma that will, bring me enjoyment, karma is done for enjoyment, and then the knowledge that there is nothing after death. These are all three vain. Now, and these are vichetas, means they lack that discrimination. They are viveka shunya. They do not have that discrimination. And therefore, their prakriti, their swabhava, their nature is asuri prakriti, rajasi prakriti. It is more rajas, more tamas, and mohinim shritaha. So they are deluded. This is delusionary thinking. Delusion is wrong thinking. This thinking is wrong. I am the body is wrong. Happiness is in the world is wrong. There is nothing after death is wrong. This is wrong thinking. Now, what is the takeaway for us? If this is wrong, then I should not think like that, right? Correct. So now next one, he talks about those people who are predominantly sattvic. So we want to be like 13, what is being told in 13. We don't want to be like what is being told in 12. Because Bhagwan has already in 11, he called them the fools. So we don't want, do we want to be a fool? Then okay, then that's fine. Then you follow 11 and 12. But if we don't want to be called Mudaha by Bhagwan, and Bhagwan Shankaracharya will always put a V in there, Vimudha means PhD in foolishness. He, in his commentary, Bhagwan will say Muda, he will say Vimudha. So we don't want to be that way, then we should be like 13. So let's see what 13 Bhagwan says. So because there is, I told you in this, there is what happens to those who don't have faith, and we already saw that they come back into this world over and over again. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakrutim ashritaha bhajantyananya manaso nyatva bhutadim avyayam. But the Mahatmas, great souls, O Partha, partaking of my divine nature, worship me with a single mind, with a mind devoted to nothing else, knowing me, as the imperishable source of beings. So Mahatma here, in the commentary, Bhagwan writes, Mahatma is akshudra buddhi, akshudra, kshudra word is there in Marathi also. Don't know about Hindi. Kshudra means very small, little, mini. So it's a small-minded person, a very narrow-minded person. That is kshudra. So Mahatma is akshudra. When you add, not large-hearted, broad-minded, who has the capacity to think by the intellect, who can think beyond intellect. That's why we reach the moon. Otherwise, if we were not thinking by that, how we would reach the moon, right? Somebody thought, yes, it is possible to land on the moon. Now they want to land on Mars also. So all that is coming from the intellect, not from the senses. So this Mahatma is a person, great person, Maha Atma, Mahan Atma, that is the break, but great means broad-minded here. Akshudra buddhi, okay? So Partha here, son of Kunti, of course, and Partha break is Parmeshwara, Paramatma, and Artha. So one who wants, Artha is meaning, one who wants to know the meaning of Paramatma. That is why Partha is used here. Okay, so you are, by calling him Partha, you are Mahatma. You are, why we surrendered. We told you, Arjuna was maximum sattva was there. So he says, these Mahatmas, these broad-minded people, broad visionaries, their prakriti is Daivi prakriti, divine. What is divine? Sattvic. So they have maximum sattva, they followed by rajas, followed by very little tamas. Okay, because rajas, tamas cannot go anywhere. Neither can sattva go anywhere. So there is sattva in asuras also, and there is rajas and tamas in Mahatmas also. Percentage. What is the percentage? That is what we need to control. Control all three are there. All three are always going to be there. We need all three for everything that we do. But please try and control the percentage of rajas and tamas. Sattva maximum, next rajas, tamas very little. That is how it should be. Okay. So mam parthi daiva prakritim ashritaha. So ashrita, they are under the influence of daivi prakriti, which is a sattvic prakriti. And then what do they do? What do they do? They constantly bhajantya ananya manasaha. Bhajanti ananya manasaha. In with the mind, ananya exclusively they do my bhajan. Nyatva bhutadi. Why do they do my bhajan? Nyatva, having known my imperishable nature. Why they're doing my bhajan? Because just for? No, no. Because they are of that sattvic nature, because they have maximum sattva in them. That is why they worship me constantly, exclusively, Ananya, exclusively knowing my imperishable nature. So this is means they are not even for a moment disregarding me, disrespecting me. They have a constant remembrance of me. Now this bhajanti, please don't understand that the person is to sit morning to evening 24/7 singing bhajans. That is not what it means. We will explain that bhajan in the next verse more in more detail. But here understand, as opposed to verse 12, the Rakshasi Achurim who are maximum rajas and tamas, as opposed to them are those people where sattva is predominant, and these people, they know the people in verse 12 don't know, they don't recognize my presence within. These people recognize my presence within themselves because they are of sattvic nature. And how do they recognize my presence? That I am that imperishable one, and because of that knowledge, they are exclusively doing bhajan me to me. Means they worship me. They worship me. Okay, how exactly this bhajan is to be done, we will see in the next one. So those are Mahatmas, are those. So what is the, see, in chapter 18 it comes, the Rajasic vision is divisive. It divides. Rajasic tendencies will always make you say, that is different from me. That person is different. That is less intelligent. This one is more intelligent, more rich. So the Rajasic person constantly, their attention is, because it is on the body, because there is identification with the body, more identification with the body, they're constantly seeing differences. Because if you look at the body, there cannot be, your own children will not be like you body wise. It can't be, it's not possible. But the attention is only on that. And a sattvic person, because his attention is now shifting to the supreme reality, he sees oneness. He sees more oneness. So there is more compassion. So if somebody does wrong, okay, it is. We have to understand that Duryodhana and Arjun, both Bhagavan Krishna was in them. Both had pure consciousness. Otherwise, Duryodhana can't function. But Duryodhana belongs to this Rakshasim Asurim Prakriti. He belongs to that one. Arjun belongs to this Mahatma, this Prakriti, Daivi Prakriti, Sattvic Prakriti. Okay, so they are constantly worshiping me, knowing my higher nature, knowing my imperishable nature. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to read the next one. They're connected. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridvrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. This sattvic person, predominantly sattvic, what does he do? So, always glorifying me, striving, firm in vows, prostrating before me, and always steadfast, they worship me with devotion. Satatam, tad dhatu, always, tad dhatu, that from that tat dhatu comes satatam, and also tat, like all pervading, so constant, without a break. That satatam means without. Kirtayanto mam. They do my kirtan, my bhajan. Okay. Yatantasha, striving, dhradavrata. We'll come back to kirtan again. Dhradavrata. Vrata is a sankalpa, a decision, a determination that I have done, and they're very firm on that. So once they decide something, even in the material world, see, for success, even in the material world, if you want success, you must be dhradavrata. Like I want to get this position, I want to get this promotion, then this much I have to work, this much hard I have to work, and then you stick to it. So these people, the more sattvic you are, the more you will follow whatever that you have decided. See, a tamasic person, he will decide and then, yeah, it's okay, I'll start tomorrow. So prostration, not prostration, procrastination is there. So it never starts. Rajasic will probably start, but then after a while, it's like, what is this? Forget it. Sattvic person will say, no, I decided to do this. Now I should keep my word. And I should. So he will be more dhrida, more firm. A sattvic person, if there is predominance of sattva, he will be firm in his resolution. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I will do. This is what I said. That's why the truth is there. In my mind, I thought I will get up in the morning. And then I said, oh, I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then when the alarm goes, maybe another 5 minutes, which turns out to be 2-3 hours. So that is not sattva. Sattvic person is, no, I said, even though I don't feel like getting up, I not even said, I thought I will get up, now I will get up. That is predominance of sattva. That is how it is manifest. That is how we have to, that's why chapter 14 is, Gita is my favorite, most favorite, but 14 is my most favorite chapter. Gita is my most favorite text. 14 is my most favorite chapter because it talks about these three gunas. Because these three gunas, we are dancing to them, to their tune. All of us are dancing to that tune. So how to bring them under control? That's why Gunati, if they are under your control, you are very close to the reality. If they are not under, if they are making you dance, forget it. It's snowing minus. Do I want to go for a walk in -3 degrees? No, I don't. Okay. So Yatan Darada. Namaste Namaskara. This they do namaste, prostrations. Namaste, namaha, the word means idam na mama. Idam na mama. There is a bhajan in Hindi, right? Tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera. Right? You have heard these two lines in that Hindi bhajan. So whatever that we are offering to the Lord, did we create it? I bought it, yeah, but how did you get the money and who grew those flowers? The earth and the water, everything has come from God. Okay, so that bhajan is this namaha, na idam mama. So this na idam mama, when they do yajnas, they were doing this Gayatri Homa when I was there in India. So every time they offered, they said, na idam mama swaha. So I am offering you, but it is not mine. That is the idea of this namaskar. This comes from word namaha. Namaha means na idam mama. It is not, this is not mine. So I'm offering flowers, but they are not mine. I'm offering food, it is not mine. So whatever is yours, tera tujhko arpan, whatever is yours only I'm offering. Whatever, the only thing that is mine, is ours, is ego. That's my ego. And that is the main thing to surrender to the Lord. Okay, so na idam, so if this person of sattvic tendency, Mahatma, he does satat kirtan, he is very firm in his resolution. So he knows very well he knows that I am that imperishable self, and therefore he does namaskar, means therefore means he realizes that everything belongs to God only. What is mine? What did I do? I couldn't have done anything unless we saw Raj Vidya, we saw the word. I told you there. This is the king of knowledges. Why is it the king of knowledges? Because without this knowledge, it means without the presence of that pure consciousness in me, I cannot achieve anything in life. I cannot. That recognition they have, therefore they do namaskar, na idam mama, that is the recognition. And then Nitya Yukta Upasate, they worship me. So we'll talk about Nitya and we'll talk about Kirtan next time. It's a little bit more detail is required. Are there any questions? All clear?
Just a comment, Jaji.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a comment that when you spoke about the Rama story where everybody was seen as Rama, that applies to us so much that we refuse to see the divinity in each one of us, right? We're only seeing the surface behavior, the appearance, the changes, and it's such a good thing to meditate on.
100%. Yeah. Always the difference comes first, always, but we have to work through that. So maybe immediately that might be the thought, but later on, let us think and, maybe forgive them and forgive ourselves too. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely right. That's why we need the teaching again and again and again. That's why it's like hammering. We need hammering because we are so yeah. Any other questions? All okay? Next week, there is no class because it is a long weekend, family day weekend. So Balvihar is getting cancelled, right, Prem Sai? So you can cancel all my classes. Tomorrow there is a class, Monday. Those who are attending Monday class, tomorrow there's a class, but next Monday there won't be a class, next Sunday, Monday. And quickly, do we have a board meeting today? Okay, but have you sent the Zoom link out or?
Not yet. I'm just about to send it.
Okay, you will send it over email, right? Please, yeah, yeah, I prefer email. Okay, good. So I'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll continue with this chapter. Okay, all okay? All right, have a great family weekend. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Okay, Hari Om everybody, and I will see some of you tomorrow.